Behind the Image Show. Today we're here with Michael Abraham from MTV's Teen Mom. Welcome to our show.
Hey, thank you, Ashley. I appreciate the time you're giving me.
No problem. Thanks so much for agreeing to come on. I love talking to you every time we talk. It's so fun. So today what we're basically going to do is just go over a couple things. So we're going to start from the beginning of Mike Abraham and work our way up to today. So we're going to go through a timeline of events.
Okay.
So we're going to start with one. Let's introduce who you are first. I'll let you do that first.
Okay, my name is Michael Abraham. I like to be called Mike, although my TV first name is Michael. Most of you all probably got to know me starting about 10 years ago when we did 16 and Pregnant and all the Teen Moms and all the Wii TV shows. And my daughter is Sarah Abraham, and my wonderful granddaughter is Sophia Abraham. And let's see, I'm 61 years old, 30 years young.
There you go. That's so fun. So let's go into, we had your little introduction, so everyone knows who you are, though. I'm pretty sure if anyone watches this, they'd probably recognize your face, even if they don't know who you are.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the glasses will be changing soon, so that's an old trademark I've used for 10 years, but it's changing.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, Miss Amy has her lovely hooks in me, thank God, and she says, it's time to change those glasses out.
Oh.
So we'll see what happens. I think it'll probably happen this coming spring when we get married. So.
Oh, that's exciting. I didn't know you guys were getting married. Congratulations.
Yes, we are. We've been engaged since last October.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And that was, the world did see it.
Oh, that's right. I don't know why I was thinking I didn't see it, but you're right. I did see it. When you went to Italy? Is that where you guys were?
Yeah, we were off the, off the Malta coast. It was one of the most phenomenal engagements I've been involved in. It's my third one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll get to that in a minute then. Let's go back a little bit further first. Let's go into your childhood a little bit. So obviously you said you're 61, you said. So growing up, you got to grow up in the age without some color TV, I guess.
No, yeah.
Was that before?
Yeah.
Was that before?
Yeah, so, I was born in 1957, a little town outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in the Rust Belt.
Oh, wow.
My dad, which is still alive, by the way, he's in his 90s, was a chemist for PG Paint Glass in Pittsburgh. And when I was 14 years old, and my dad's still alive, but they told him back then because of he was spitting up blood, smoked about 7 packs of Pall Mall a day. And in 1969, they said, you got 6 months to live. So he says, okay, I'm going to sell everything, and I'm going to move you guys to Phoenix, Arizona, and you guys can bury me there.
Oh, wow.
And needless to say, he's still alive. He quit smoking. He quit spitting out his lungs. Back then they didn't. In the 60s, we were still in primitive age for medical services. But needless to say, I moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Basically, went from wearing penny loafers and having to have a dress shirt and short hair and all that good stuff. Went to Phoenix, Arizona when I was in 7th grade, and had hippie friends and cowboy friends and Mexican friends and Indian friends, and I wore flip-flops and shorts to school, and I thought I died and went to heaven.
That's awesome. Do you have brothers and sisters growing up?
I have 2 younger brothers. They're both alive. They're in the Phoenix, Arizona area. My baby brother just retired for fire chief paramedic in that area, and my middle brother, he's still working a little bit off and on. So they're getting a little older. I myself, I'm not retiring. I'm still working. But my baby brother, he has a Brazilian jiu-jitsu training business. He trains world-class fighters. So he hasn't really retired. He's got his boys and everybody working there in Litchfield Park.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I actually did not know that you were from the Pittsburgh area. I live in Pennsylvania, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
New Kensington. It's on Route 27 along the Allegheny River.
Okay. That's awesome.
Still remember.
So then you moved, you said, to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And then is that where you met your ex-wife, Deborah? Is that where you guys met?
Oh, no, that's a long story.
Okay.
We'll fast forward. I had a really good time, junior high, high school Phoenix as it was growing. Back in the good old days, 8 months out of the year, you could smell citrus. Now you smell smog. But I graduated around high school, didn't know what to do, so I went into the Army, 75 by 81. Got out, started working at Western Electric, worked at AT&T. Well, Western Electric was part of AT&T's manufacturing arm.
Okay.
Let's see, worked for the government and AT&T, got a couple of degrees, went into corporate marketing. Through all that stuff there, I had my first marriage, didn't last long, no kids. And then when I went to corporate marketing, that's where I met Deborah.
Okay.
Because she lived in the Omaha area at the Omaha Western Electric plant. Then there was the Atlanta Western Electric plant and the Phoenix Western Electric plant. And after 1984, Judge Green broke up the AT&T. Give you as a history lesson here. And Deborah and were part. They pulled 600 people out of all the manufacturing because they had no sales force. We were our own customer.
Oh, yeah.
So I was involved in basically new markets. I managed MWBEs, which are minority distributors. Sold anything from the little fiber optic connectors to $35 million switches for cities.
Oh, wow.
So I worked my way up to about director level. We met Deborah, moved from Phoenix, moved to Omaha where she lived. She had Ashley, which is Farrah's half-sister. She was about 6 months old. And after a while, we managed to get married, had Farrah, and traveled the world with AT&T. Around 2000, after Y2K, we decided Deborah should stay, and I left. I took an early retirement at 43 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And start working for electrical companies, managing communication groups for people, and still doing design work. And I also started my own business, but I always worked for other companies and did my own thing on the side. Yeah.
That's awesome. So another fun fact I just didn't know, I didn't realize that Ashley was not your oldest.
No, she's not. She's half daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, half daughter.
That's awesome. I didn't realize that. So then, okay, so you said you were married once before.
Yeah.
And then that didn't last long, you said?
A couple of years.
Okay.
Both of our parents wanted us to get married. One of those situations that we did, and we were in our early 20s. We were crazy. I was traveling a lot because I worked for the government also. So I'd be gone for 3 months, come back. It's one of those weird things. But it was good. Yeah, I haven't. I won't mention her name because to this date, I don't know where she. I mean, back then in the good old days in Arizona, you had to take counseling for 6 months before they give you anything, and it was really brutal. It was very ugly. And when we walked down the steps, from the court, I have not seen her since. It's been a long time.
Yeah, so, that is. I can respect.
Yeah. So. You always, it'd be nice to be able to say hello or at least say, we never had any children. We had a couple of miscarriages, but it would have been very nice now because I have friends from high school and the service. And, when you get married, it'd be nice if you can put things aside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ought to talk about Deborah now.
Yeah.
No, it's been a pretty good thing. I mean, I've traveled all over the world with AT&T and the military and the government, so I've been around.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool how many different jobs you've had, but it's kind of all been like the same type of job.
Kind of.
Which is kind of neat, though, because that means you kind of stayed in the same type of field for the most part. You started with the military and the government, you said, then went to AT&T. Then what was your own business that you had started?
You can pull it up. My LinkedIn is Michael D. Abraham and Associates. I've got 2 divisions: business development, investment, business consulting. Then I've got a tech business. Which basically, I act as a business consultant. Biggest customers were Cabela's and Bass Pro.
We have one of those here. I love those stores.
Yeah, they basically both were customers of mine when I worked for AT&T, and then when I left, I'd always do consulting for both of them. And then what was it, like a year and a half ago, Bass Pro announced that they were acquiring Cabela's. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird when you see both of their marketings.
Yeah,
they'll advertise and have kind of a Cabela's here, Bass Pro here. But last year I had a bunch of people. We were doing inventory, IT inventory for them. But like right now, let's see, I had a school district call me. They hired a consultant to put their package together for their new schools. Then they hired me to watch the consultant, which is good.
That's cool though.
And it came from, and I'm not a chip head, so it's like structured cable, fiber optic networks. The largest one I've done was 1,800 miles in another country, designing them, including all the dirt work and everything. Anything wireless, any type of phone system, any type of data system. But I'm the guy that basically puts it on a spreadsheet, labor-wise, material-wise, and then most of the time now my work is just overseeing consultants and contractors.
So you get to figure everything out and then tell people what to do.
Yeah, so usually the school boards, or like if I do a lot of work for universities. Like there'll be a finance group from the university that'll have me oversee their IT group. It's huge. I mean, money's tight. It's just the way it is, And then on the business consulting side right now, let's see, I do a lot of feasibility studies for investors, for startups, and then I'm also an investor. We can talk about that later too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. So that went over, and you're still doing that now, correct?
Yes.
And are you doing any other work right this second?
Not that much. Let's see. I do occasional personal appearances.
Yeah.
This past weekend, Farrah and I, we were up in Belton, Texas for a Comic-Con. That was cray-cray. And, we haven't done those before, but Farrah did it as a friend, and Sophia was supposed to go. Sophia wanted to stay down here, so I went in. Was up there. I've been to Comic-Cons, but they just weren't used to having Farrah.
Oh my, that's cool though. At least it was an experience though, even though it was crazy.
And it was it was up in Belton, Texas, which is where a large military base is. So we really did it. I mean, we had a lot of really good service members that came up, did pictures and all the other good stuff. So it was pretty good.
Oh, that's nice. I bet that's cool for you since you used to be in the service too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool to see. Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty neat. It's kind of like a full circle type thing.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, like you already had talked about, your relationship with Deborah. That was our next topic. I was waiting for that response. So you already said you guys met after college, working. Correct? You were working basically.
Yeah. I was probably 30 when I met Deborah.
Oh, okay.
And I was from Phoenix, she's from Omaha, and back then we did a lot of training for that new Marcus group. And she came to Phoenix, and I saw her, and I go, woo! And between the classes for the week, I convinced her to go out with me, and I showed her the sites, blah blah blah. And, she said, "Well, I'm a little, you're a little different. I'm used to more Midwestern type of guys." I could, whatever. And she basically said no for a while, but she did go out before the end of that week. And we kind of had a secret relationship. Even when I moved from Phoenix to Omaha, nobody really knew we were, they knew we knew each other, but that was it. And then when we announced that we were getting married, that kind of shocked everybody after about 3 years.
Oh, God.
And, politics, I mean, Deborah worked globally, and so did I. And there were times where my organization would get a call. Look, we need some technical expertise. We need a good optical engineer, and we'd manage it. And I remember going down to Orange, Texas, down to the refineries, because Deborah was managing like the top 10 contractors in the world. And that particular one was for Black & Veatch, which was headquartered out of Houston. And she brought me in as an optical specialist. And it was funny because she'd be up there talking, and we had a thing called DS, premise distribution systems, and the old good old boys were in the back and says, "Well, maybe she ought to go home and talk about her PMS." And I keep my mouth quiet, So you do. So you keep it pretty discreet,
Yeah.
But once we got married, the cat was out of the bag, and things went downhill from there for me at work. That's why, when Y2K came, I go, look, my organization's been, because my last job there, I had to shut down an organization because basically all the structured cabling, fiber optics, a lot of the electrical contractors in the U.S. were trying to get into that.
Yeah.
They were lowballing, they're used to 2 and 3% margins. We're used to like 170% margins. So I retired. 95 people was my last job, and then I left.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So now the most asked question that I've seen online, I don't know if you've ever actually answered the question about you guys, do you guys think that you would still be together if it wasn't for being on TV?
No.
No. Why is that your answer?
Because we had our issues before the TV.
Okay.
Because I think we got divorced in 2009. Mm-hmm. Something 9 or 10.
Okay.
This is almost 10 years. And, the big thing was Deborah did want to get a divorce, and there was a lot of financial issues. I walked from a $4.2 million estate. Both those houses, I walked away. I took all the debt, and my dad was about ready to kill me because the debt was extremely crazy. Yeah. And I took a bankruptcy before 2005, before the bankruptcy laws changed under George Bush. And because I'm second generation, we didn't believe in bankruptcies. But the other big thing was, I could have had half of all that, but at the time, in the early years of 16 and pregnant, Farrah was still extremely young. They weren't paying big bucks, and they were. I basically went to our courthouse. I talked to the 3 judges. It wasn't in Omaha; it was in Council Bluffs, across from the Missouri River. And they go, Mike, we know you. You guys have done so many fundraisers at your house. None of us are going to side with anyone, you or Deborah. We're just going to auction everything off.
Oh wow!
And if you remember the really nice house. Deborah's, that really old eclectic historical home, and it's on the historic register, and it's also a local landmark. Deborah's father, Sonny, which passed away a couple of years ago, he did a lot of work there, and I just could see doing that. Yeah. So I want to make sure Sophia and Farrah had a home, and I think it was on probably Teen Mom 1. We were sitting there, and I told Farrah didn't get it; she was young. Yeah. I was crying. I go, look, I'm going to give your mom everything. I'm going to walk away with nothing. But we still stayed intact. I still lived there for about almost 3 years filming and everything. It was great.
I was about to say, you guys get along pretty well, at least for filming purposes. I don't know about for regular everyday life, but
well, let's put it this way. And the very few people got this. I think I did this for one other podcast. But you see this little thing here? Farrah gave this to me.
Okay.
And I'll read the important part. And when we did Marriage Boot Camp about 2 years ago, there was a big blowout. We were supposed to do the New Year's Eve thing, but Chad's mom, Paula, was going cray-cray and all this other stuff. But this is what Farrah gave me for my New Year's resolution. And I'm sharing this with you because a lot of people in the Teen Mom spirit didn't really hear it. This other podcast, they were kind of wrestlers. They're very good friends of mine.
Yeah.
But I'll read this, so you'll get a picture of it because, it's very hard for Deborah and I because we're trying to hold tight to help Farrah. Farrah wants us, but then she doesn't want us. Sophia's dad died 2 months before she was born. I'm still her male figure in her life, her main figure. So it says this. So this is really good. So this year I will show respect, support, and this has been 2 years. That's why Farrah and I are much closer. We have our days, trust me, but it's not like it used to be. This year I will show respect, support, and involvement in my daughters' and granddaughters' lives. I will work on soothing and researching how best to do this with my daughter. I need to apologize to my granddaughter for the hardships and fights that I've had with Farrah. And we've done all these things, by the way.
Yeah.
And I will incorporate there's like 7 of them, all the family boot camp lessons with my girlfriend because Farrah really likes Amy and they get along really well. Aww. And to build a lasting relationship between her and my family and use all the rules of engagement. And this is the most important. I will move on and live my life separate from my ex-wife and be the best version of myself that I can be.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what we really did. So the last exchange that I had with Deborah physically, well, let's see, the last time I worked with her or Deborah was when we were in Italy.
Okay.
You know, and there was a lot of tension before that because David and I, had our encounter at Farrah's birthday.
Yeah.
David didn't go to Italy, just Deborah, and Deborah was pretty good. But the thing is, it just, and I don't think Deborah gets it yet, but Farrah wanted us to be separate people because we were divorced, but we were still there, and we did it because we thought it was helping her, but it was really wearing on everybody's relationship.
Yeah, caused some tension probably.
Well, she wanted us to be healthy, and it was unhealthy if I was dating somebody, and so I think the last exchange that we had, Farrah's got this court case thing. It was like about last month. She got arrested, but there was no mugshot. They held her, but there was no fingerprints.
Yeah.
For that thing in LA. And unfortunately, Deborah contacted me, but she already did an interview putting her daughter down. A lot of people say that I don't have a set of balls and I don't confront my daughter. Well, that's a lie. But I don't throw my daughter under the bus. And Deborah continues to do that. You can look at the blogs and her interviews. Poor Sophia, she should do this. Hell, Deborah gave Farrah and Ashley the same, and I gave them the same life. Well, they traveled the world with us, just like Sophia does with Farrah. Deborah's very self-serving. I told Farrah, go live your life. Yeah, I will miss you, but you have to live your life. And it's just like this morning. And they were here in Austin for a couple of days. They went back to LA, for a couple business items. They'll be back out here, I think, next Thursday.
Okay.
And we have an event. And then when does this air? When does your show air?
Probably this weekend.
Okay. Let me put it this way. Sophia and Farrah is going to be in an exciting event that most people would not think that they would be because of the particular network that's hosting it.
Okay.
And what's next week? The MTV VMAs.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, to be honest. I'm so behind.
Yeah. And so many people will be shocked because my girls will be there.
There you go. That'll be good, though.
Isn't that so weird?
I think it's funny.
She was at another MTV event 2 months ago. And even though they supposedly fired her and they supposedly had this nasty lawsuit, which wasn't that nasty, they settled out of court. I think it was good for all three parties.
Yeah.
And but it's going to be a real shocker to her co-stars, or her ex-co-stars.
Oh God. Now, on that topic, since Farrah was fired, I'm going to say it that way, does that mean that you as well, like you and Amy and Deborah and anybody else that was associated with the show, are you guys fired?
Deborah, again, went behind her daughter's back. She was at the reunion show, the last season's reunion show. I don't think Deborah's filming anymore, but she was still filmed after when Morgan was here and pulled that crap in my backyard when I wasn't here. No, they blackballed me because they know that I'm extremely supportive of my daughter and granddaughter.
Yeah.
I hadn't filmed anything more. Who knows? I know there'll be some shockers coming. Yeah. Probably in the next 9 months, people will be blown away. And I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Because as they say, never say never, but people didn't like Farrah, but the networks know what she brings, and she makes money for them. So it'll be another shocker coming up pretty soon. I'll just leave it at that. And
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, like we said before, a lot of TV now is just for drama, whereas the original show, 16 and Pregnant, obviously wasn't as much for the drama. It was more about the story.
Yeah, even the original Teen Mom, and even Teen Mom 2 and 3, when they all got started, I mean, they were docu-reality shows.
Yes.
And then the decision to break the fourth wall, When the producers got involved, it wasn't bad, but it's starting to look like it was a producer show again, And the things and again, shoot me down. I'm trying to keep positive. A lot of the things that the Abraham family got hit on the chin about are happening to other people now.
Oh yeah, okay? I can see
the so-called fights that don't need to happen, the stress that don't need to happen. They can do their own thing. But I mean, the last 3 seasons, Fair was ready to go, and we stayed. And the last 2 reunions, we almost walked out. A lot of people saw that because Dr. Drew Zelfar walked out. And again, all that issue is because they didn't want to stick to our family story. They wanted more drama. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, we have drama. We don't need any more. They can continue to do what they want. We wish them the very best.
Yeah, I agree. I tell you what, as sad as it is to see you guys leave MTV, I think it might have been for the best.
Well, the thing is it's like any job. If you think you're going to have, in the good old days in the 60s, if you thought your job was going to last forever, maybe. In this environment that our society is, it's not going to happen. And to be quite honest, for a TV show to go 10 years, and if you look at the Teen Mom and Teen Mom OG, it's been the longest. Mm-hmm. The Teen Mom 2, they say they've been there. Yeah, they've been there together, but we still have 1 season on them.
Yeah.
And and we're happy with where we're at.
Exactly.
They can continue on because it basically went away from what it was all about. The original creator and the executive from MTV, her name is still on there, but she's not there. Okay. And it's probably the reason why she left, because they were starting to change it right after. Let's see. Yeah, right after Team OG, that's where she was gone. Yeah.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
So on a different positive note, a little bit more positive, let's talk about your relationship with your fiance.
Amy, baby.
Yes. So I don't think we actually seen. We seen her start recording with you, filming with you, but we never actually seen how you guys met. Where she came from. Where did you guys meet? Where did this come from?
Boy. Since you can't do it no more, I'll be pretty honest. So she's going to laugh her butt off. Usually when we have people that ask us that, we say we have a mutual friend. His name is Craig. Okay? And so Amy and I have both been married and divorced twice, okay? We both have 1 daughter. I have 1 granddaughter. She has 2 granddaughters. They've been on the earlier shows from the beginning, from that Easter footage and stuff. Mm-hmm. Ava, Maya, they're wonderful. Sophia, Ava, Maya, they all get along good, age group-wise. Amy is so good to my girls. To my girls. But how we got to meet, she ran an ad on Craigslist, and I was in a position at that time because I told myself, and I'm not trying to be nasty, but I have no trouble really dating women. Yeah. I have difficulty finding people that will take me for who I am. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. I have a daughter that's in reality TV. There's a lot of hindrance to that. And then, for my age, Amy and I have been together for about 3.5 years now. So I was like 58, and I go, well, if I'm going to do something, I better do it. So I told myself, I'm going to find 10 gals and date them and see how that works out. And I had friends trying to match me up, Craigslist. There were so many gals where we'd just be at dinner, I'd meet at a restaurant, and even though we talked on the phone, they start complaining. I need a man that's 400%. The better I have no grandkids or any kids.
Oh, wow.
And so I say, hey man, here's $50. Enjoy your meal. I'm out of here. So I met Amy on Craigslist, and Craigslist personal ads are gone now. And a lot of people say, why Craigslist? But you can get just as many kooky nuts on some of the other paid sites. You can call Deborah up. She got ripped off. Her book's about how she got ripped off for $250,000 by some guy she met on one of those sites. It's her book Vapor. I think you may be familiar with Vapor. You can look up Danielson, and she wrote it with a cyber expert out of the University of Nebraska.
Okay.
And this dude ripped her off for $250,000.
Mm.
And you can be very intelligent, have a lot of sheepskin, and you can still get ripped off.
Yeah.
But so Amy and I started talking, and I think it was like the first part of April. She's really involved with a lot of family that really attracted me, and we basically talked for about a month and a half. FaceTime, talking, texting, got to know each other a lot. I asked her if she knew anything about Teen Mom and MTV. She said, heck no. And I go, hey, this may be a winner. and we almost didn't work out because on our first date was on a Tuesday, and I took her to have crawfish, and I met her at the restaurant, and I had roses for her, and we closed that restaurant from 6 to midnight. We were talking,
Aww.
and that Friday I saw her repost the ad. So, like any good sales professional, I called her. I go, look, I like to do a sales evaluation here. What happened? She said, well, you didn't call me. And I go, well, I'm busy. I had to fly out, you know. And so at that time, that was it. And since then, we've been an item.
Oh
And so, you know, she still works at the University of Texas in upper management. And so we. You know, I come down and we grill every day and go out and have fun. I waited till, at that time, Farrah hadn't met her. Farrah was it was right before she went to London to do Celebrity Big Brother.
Okay.
And that's all. Then I came back, and that's how she met Amy. She was real mad at me because I had Amy drop me off because we were in Ohio or someplace, and I had to pick up my car from Farrah's house. And we walked in. I introduced her. She's, well, you didn't tell me we're going to bring your, the guy you were dating. And the next thing I know, for 3 hours, they're talking, and I'm over on the couch. And it's just been very good ever since then. She's a very empathetic woman. She has a big heart. She doesn't do it anymore, but if you're familiar with CASA, there's CASAs all over the U.S., and CASA volunteers are volunteers that work between the families and the courts for foster care people. You know, I think I might have mentioned, you know, she's a kidney transplant recipient.
Yes.
She's a little bionic woman, and she loves to cook for her family on Sundays. You know, I mean, it's just a lot of that back east stuff. Remember that back east? And Amy was born just west of Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
So we're kind of in the kind of same area. She reminds me a lot of my aunts and stuff too.
Aww.
You know, plus she has that flaming red hair that most people don't know about. So.
That's awesome. She seems so sweet. I just feel like, I think it's so funny because you went from one extreme to kind of like the next, because I feel like they're so different.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I love
Amy's a strong woman, trust me.
Yeah.
Don't put it past her. She's not a pushover, but she's empathetic, and she has a value of life. You know, her niece, which is very, very, very good lady, gave her kidney when she was 19.
Oh, wow.
So that was 10 years ago. Yeah, December 19th was 10 years. So, you know, 19-year-old kidney, we ought to get a good 20, 30 years out of that bad boy, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good. She seems so great. I think it's so good that you guys are all so close, too, with your family.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
I wanted that, and Amy, you know, she's so good with Farrah and Sophia, because most of our family has been a lot of strife.
Yeah.
You know, that's all Farrah remembers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, you know, we grill, we play poker, you know, we have fun. We all went down to the Texas coast about a month and a half ago. I mean, we do a lot of things like that, and there's no drama.
Oh,
no drama.
That's awesome. That's good though.
You know, I mean, we have our issues, but the thing is, there people can work on the issues and get it taken care of, so it's happy for everybody. And there are those people that just want to build drama.
Yeah, that's so true.
You know?
Now, I know we talked about You have Farah, and then you have your stepdaughter. Do you still associate with your stepdaughter too much?
The last
Since you
time
and
I
Deborah
saw her,
separated?
well, when we separated, got a divorce. Ashley, by the way, is her
Yeah.
name. Ashley's very upset with me because there was a lot of hacking going on, and they blamed me on that and everything. But last time I saw her was probably, gosh, Jesus, time goes by, probably 4.5 years ago.
Okay.
At Deborah's father's funeral when he passed away.
Okay.
Because Sunny was all very close to all of us, and I got to see her little girl and Ashley's little girl. But no, Ashley would call me now. There's no problems. I know that Ashley wasn't really talking to Deborah much, but since Deborah married David, it seems like they've got a relatively pretty good relationship. I hope.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you guys were close since you were around when she was so little.
I thought we were, but there was a lot of strife there the last 10, 15 years, unfortunately.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear that, though.
Yeah.
So we already talked about Amy, who I think is wonderful, by the way. She's so cute.
Amy, baby.
Yeah, she's just cute. I like her. Let's talk about something that you said you want to talk about was little Sophia.
My little sweetheart.
She is so cute. Okay, how old is she now?
She will be 10 years old in February, so she's 9.5.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and
I know you guys are so close.
Yeah, we're very close. I mean, she's growing up, see how let's see. I know that Maya and Sophia. Maya had her young women class because she's in 5th grade,
Aww.
and they all talk, and so. Sophia's becoming a young woman, soon to be.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an old soul. A lot of people, unfortunately, with all the haters, I think, she needs her childhood. I mean, she has a very good childhood. I mean, she travels the world with her mama.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people want Sophia to have their life, but the bottom line is Sophia and Farah, they live their life. They have completely different lifestyle, and it could change. But let's see, this year alone, they were in Hong Kong for New Year's.
Oh, wow.
They were in Fiji for 10 days for a work engagement. Then they went to the Cannes Film Festival in Nice, France. Because Farah's working on a couple movie projects right now. Then they went to Dubai for another engagement. And, she goes with her mama, and she should be with her mama. A lot of people say she needs to have friends. She has friends. Some amazing people in Los Angeles to people here in Texas.
Yeah.
People say, well, she's missing her social skill set. She sees kids her age. It's unfortunately that people feel that they should impose their lifestyle on other people. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And Farah is, there's not a day that goes by. And even though I think I've blocked, it's really crazy. I've blocked probably 1,500 people on my Twitter account, and my haters don't show up anymore. So I guess I'm getting rid of them. But, we still live in America. We still have good choices for freedoms. Farah has not done anything wrong illegally.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is. There was this big issue about Sophia being on some music-y or something in a towel. She had a bathing suit on underneath. And I get all these women on there. There's all these perverts and all these and stalkers. I mean, we know that more than most people do.
Yeah.
And we have things in place that most people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's an app I'll share with you called 360. Have you ever seen that app?
No, I haven't.
The free version, once you put your phone number in, it tracks people all around the world.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And there's advanced things in there. We've been using that since the FBI shared that with us. I mean, we track each other. We have security. Yeah. And the bottom line is, if they're really afraid, I hope those people aren't even going outside their doors, because when they go swimming or,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can either manage the threats or you let the threats manage you. So sorry about getting off, but no, Sophia's doing good. She's getting ready to start her fourth grade year, and
Aw.
she'll be doing that. She's still doing virtual school, which gives her the freedoms. She's still studying acting. She's studying dance. And just having a good old time.
So good. So she's just a normal kid. I think so many people feel like she's not like a normal child. She just, because she doesn't have the normal life, as people say, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like every time I see her, whether it be on like a photo or TV or Instagram or anything, she's just having fun.
Yeah.
She doesn't care what other people are saying.
I tried explaining, like I asked this one woman who was crazy. I gave her my phone number, and she called me every name in the book. I go, let's talk about the time you're with your kids. She's, what do you mean? I go, you work? She says, yes. I go, you use childcare? She says, yes. I go, let me explain this to you. I go, most normal people, they get up 5, 6 o'clock. They're pushing their kids for breakfast. If they have school, they take them to school. If their school's not in, they're taking them to daycare. Then they go to work. And then you go pick them up from whatever school or whatever. And then usually by the time you get home, you're lucky if it's 5:30. If you're a smaller community, you don't have all the travel. But most people, you have commutes.
Yeah.
And even if it's a mile or two, commutes suck. And so it gets to a point where you're going to have dinner, and there's stress. If there's school, the kid has homework. They're in another room doing homework. So really the quality, I'll just give them benefit of the doubt. The quality of time, the mother, because the dad's probably still working and trying to get home, is maybe 3 hours, maybe 4. Because if you're getting them up to 6, you got to get them in the bed at 9.
Yeah.
Okay? My granddaughter gets to be with her mom so much.
Yeah.
They work together, and no, it's not in the adult industry, which we really ought to talk about.
Okay.
This morning we were doing videos for the Furnished by Farah and for Sophia's store, Sophia Laurent.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're and by the way, they do endorsements together. So look at all this time that they're doing something. They're working, but they're together.
Yeah.
Sophia's she's probably as advanced as a person in their first or second year in college. all type of softwares, videos. She knows how to record and do all this weird stuff. Yes, it'd be nice maybe to have a so-called normal school thing, but normal schools have a lot of dead time for kids.
Yes.
And there's a lot of wasted time. When Sophia is learning, it's 100% learning. The teachers on that virtual school are watching every keystroke. There's no cheating going on.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got caught trying to do her homework last year. It didn't work. I wanted to go swimming, so I was trying to do some of her work, and the teacher, called me and said, "Mr. Abraham, the keystrokes are looking like that's your verbiage, not hers." I got busted, So she's just a great kid.
That's awesome.
She's an old soul. A lot of people, even to say people, the haters are out there, but she's such a loving little person.
Yeah. She's adorable.
Sorry about that. I start reminiscing. I'll start crying.
No, you're fine. So you said you want to talk about the adult sex industry. Let me hear what you want to say about that.
Okay, just to get things out there, actual, not from MTV, not from the haters or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just get this correct.
All right.
Okay, it's been what? That video that Farah sold was what? A good
like 5 or 6 years?
At least. It was before, she did that Teen Mom season 3.
Okay.
Okay? So that's a long time.
Yeah.
There's been 9 seasons. So let's say, almost 6, 8 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 years. Okay, she sold it to Vivid. They made 2 movies out of it. She has not done another adult video since then and don't plan on doing it.
Good.
That's it. Yes, she has her toy line, makes tons of money on it. She still makes money from royalties from those adult things. The cam thing, she's not a normal cam girl. She started and she established and owned a cam business. Took a lot of business from a lot of the other ones because the so-called commissions are extremely low for most women and men on there. Farrah's commissions were up to 60% back to the people.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and she sold that business. She only had it for 6 weeks. She basically had, I think she had close to 15,000 actors and actresses, and so she sold that. Then Cam Soda came up. That was last year, and Cam Soda came there. It was a new webcam thing. She knew the owners, and they wanted her, to be the first person on it. That's the one that she crashed. Like 70,000 viewers in the first 5 minutes.
Wow.
Crashed the server. Okay, that was the last thing she ever did.
Oh, wow. Good though.
Yeah, and everything. I mean, to this day, there's people saying all those terrible things. You need to wash your hands if you touch your hands. If you look at how Farrah dated people, how many people has she dated? She dated Simon. She dated the one guy this spring, but that was one date.
Yeah.
She dated Daniel. Remember Daniel?
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
And I think she dated 2 other guys.
Okay.
If you really want to measure on the reality side of how many people, there's a lot of her ex co-stars that have had a lot more sex with a lot more people than Farrah ever did.
Yeah.
And for the record, she's the only, out of all the teen moms and all the people on 16 pregnant, she's still the only person that's only had one child out of wedlock. She has only one baby daddy, and unfortunately, Derek passed away 2 months before Sophia was born. She doesn't have baby daddies spewed all over the world. So I'm not trying to be too crazy, but it is so sad when there's people that hate on my daughter and my family, saying we're doing something wrong. She's really the only one that really kept with the message of what Teen Mom and 16 Pregnant was all about, was being responsible after you make that first mistake.
Yeah.
And she does endorsements, but it's with her clothes on.
Yeah.
She goes to that thing with Drea, the what was it, the New Jersey Wives or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She did that opening, Drea and a couple other people. She had her clothes on. It was an adult venue, but she had her clothes on. Why don't they go after Drea? No, they went after my daughter. Oh, she was at this men's club. So they
just kind of pick her out.
Yeah. So, if her dad can deal with it, why can't others deal with it?
Yeah.
And strategically, and you and I talked about this before, there are so many single parents, both female and male, that are in that industry. And it really reflects what the Teen Mom and 16 Pregnant franchise were all about. Real life.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew gave me those statistics, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they're real. That's crazy. All the hate and everything, and let's face it, I think if some of the other girls, all the girls get hate, even Macy. It's unfortunate. But if some of the other girls got the level of hate that Farrah just doesn't deal with it. It does bother her, but she knows how to manage it, keep it away.
Not internalize.
And she knows that, most of the haters out there, they really need to get a life, Amber, bless her heart, we'll be seeing her. I hope her life is good, but I know she's out of the limelight, and I know she had to be off her meds for at least 9 months. That's why, notice how she was hidden?
Yeah.
Which is good. She probably needed that. I'm not putting her down for being hidden, or I'm not going down there. Amber needed that, and I hope it works good for them,
Yeah. Now we know Farrah wasn't super friendly with the girls from her season or any season, I think.
She tried.
Do you talk to anyone from that show at all? Any of
do you keep believe it or not, but Tyler and Kate's going to be real pissed. But I talk to Butch all the time. Butch is in Austin. Butch is basically his rehab treatment was here in Mater, Texas, which is a suburb of Austin.
Okay.
Butch is in a work program here in Austin, and we text each other and talk.
That's awesome.
Tyler would just lose his mind if he knew that, because
Oh,
Tyler still has a little problem with me. Last time I physically saw Tyler was that weekend that Matt and Amber attacked Farrah and me. Right before that, because they were keeping all of us, but I have my ways. I found Tyler and I go, look, we had a lot of issues before. I want to shake your hand. And to kind of move on, and Kate came in. I gave her a hug. It all blew up when Amber did her bullshit.
Okay.
And it's just unfortunate, but it's really kind of crazy how everything that Farrah said came true. She warned her. We warned them about Matt.
Yeah.
We knew everything was there, and that fight when she got on stage, it was all about the producers, because Farrah, they had Farrah call Amber, and Amber was upset, and there was all the name calling and everything. But it pretty much turned out that Matt was the pig he was meant to be.
Yeah.
And I have no trouble saying that to him. I mean, I know he's in Las Vegas. I wish him the best. I still have a permanent injury, 5%, to that. And there was no reason. And MTV should not have let that happen. They did the same thing with Kel, and they put Chelsea in the line of fire, and she's pregnant.
I saw that.
It's gotten completely out of hand. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But those are the only people, and I'll share this with you. The last time I saw a lot of them were when we did that. It was like we were filming It's a Wrap, the holiday season thing, and everybody gave us a hard time because Farrah wanted her own area of security. We didn't know if Amber was going to come over. We knew that David has already threatened me. David, Janelle's dude,
Yeah.
So it was pretty rough, but we had a good time. And that was the last time. But I saw Taylor, and I shook Taylor's hand. I said, "Your babies are wonderful. Take care of your babies." I gave Macy a hug then. Kate and Tyler would not say nothing to me, and again, Amber and those guys weren't there. Some of the Teen Mom 2 gals at the time, Brianna would not talk to me. Cal would not talk to me. That was phenomenal. Chelsea's was wonderful. And what was it? 2 weeks when I supposedly went after Kel's weight. I don't know if you saw that thing. It was not meant that way. And you might have saw the tweet, because Chelsea came after me. I go, look, the first thing out of my mouth was, Chelsea, I have and will continue to have the most respect for you and your family. And I went in to explain what I did. It was about weight classes and age classes. The Olympics have it, and let's face it, Cal's bigger than my daughter. Yeah. I didn't say she was a fat ass. I just said she was bigger than my daughter.
Okay.
And I had a lot of nastiness, and you know what? I just got off Twitter.
Well,
I didn't need to deal with it.
Yeah, just ignore it.
Just ignore it, so it worked out good. But no, it works out good. But if somebody would reach out, I'd have no trouble, because hopefully they too can release themselves from the bonds of MTV and see the light and the truth.
I think it would be really cool if at least all the Teen Mom OG girls could be friends, because I feel like they went through a lot together, just the whole experience. Like, there's only 4 of them that actually know from the beginning to the end what it's like.
Yeah, and we've got 2 new ones coming in. Bristol Palin, Farrah, Farrah and I, all of us, we've took the high road. We knew Bristol and Sarah as well. We did pregnancy prevention programs in the early years with them.
That'll be nice.
And Bristol lives in Austin, Texas, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, but she's going through divorce right now, unfortunately. And we wish her the very best. But, boy, I can't wait to see Sarah get in the same room with Morgan J. Freeman. Morgan's very if you ever watch Morgan, on Twitter, he's always down on Trump.
Yeah.
And so Sarah, she's still conservative no matter what. So that ought to be good. We'll see how long that lasts.
TV.
Oh yeah.
So before we go, I want to talk a little bit about like what you're doing now. Anything you want to share about the future, events, anything like that?
Right now, I'm still kind of hanging loose because I still with Sophia a lot.
Yeah.
I I do a lot of stuff with startups. There's a particular company that I really like out of New York. It's called Lexody, LEXODY.com. It's a language. How can I say it? There's different ways to learn languages.
Mm-hmm.
What Lexity does is like a matchmaking. We bring people together, and I do a lot of coaching for them. And they're basically in New York, all of Jersey, D.C., and all of Boston right now. Hopefully we'll be in about 50 cities.
Okay.
But basically, the free version, you get one meeting. So you go in, let's say you speak English, you want to learn Spanish. So once you get on there, people can see you, and you can basically, for 18 and above, you can reach out and you meet in a common place to have a Lex, and then you earn Lex dollars. But the big thing what Lexi does, it provides face-to-face immersion. I mean, real face-to-face. Skype does not quite do it because you can't see people's hands and mannerisms and everything. And you can immerse yourself. So you meet for an hour, it's 30 minutes Spanish, 30 minutes English.
Oh, wow.
Plus, yeah, so right now, New York University is using Lexity for their students, and Columbia is looking at it also. I'm very close to those folks, and I do a lot of mentoring to them, but you ought to check it out.
Okay.
I still do a lot of stuff that's doing South by Southwest here in Austin, the tech festival, and I'm still a mentor for a handful of startups here in Austin. Will I go back to work full time? Probably not. I need to make some money sometimes. I do public speaking, but for like 501c nonprofit organizations, I do it for free to go speak with children. But I mean, I'm almost Social Security eligible, but I don't plan to do anything like that until I'm 70. So I'll just keep on going. I'm at home. I do, I run a lot of errands for Amy and my family. I take care of Starburst the horse and the chickens and the dogs and bunny rabbit we have in the backyard, and just enjoying life.
So basically, you're just living your best life.
Yeah, just like living the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
There you go.
And I get a lot of challenge when I try to get a real job.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, for the longest time, I was still working corporate jobs. I'd walk into a headquarters and the receptionist, Michael from Team Mom's here, and people cop attitudes for whatever it is. And, working TV is just like working in construction.
Yeah.
Got a big project, you work on it, it's done, you go find another one,
Yeah.
Which we are working on, by the way, and you never can tell, Farah's working on, and again, this is another neat thing. Out of all, and I would challenge all of the reality stars out there, and I'm not trying to be picking on our ex-stars, but Farah this year has managed to go from reality TV, which is non-union, and they're small roles, but any role. She's been in last week. She's working on one where she plays a police officer. If you go on some of her social media, there's some pictures of her.
Okay.
And it's her first stag, which is basically union. And you have to be asked for that to be in there. You can't just say I want to be in the entertainment union. So she was asked. She's working her dues. But I would challenge any of her ex co-stars. Why don't you, most of them aren't going to do it. Macy's happy with what she has. Amber may, but I think Amber, what I'm seeing, I think Amber's really enjoying being a mama because she really never had that experience.
Yeah.
It was kind of taken away from her. Yes, it was her choice, but let's face it, you're a mama. There's good days, bad days. We don't like diapers, puking. But, man, there's nothing like when you're holding your child in your arms and they're content, they're asleep, and the house is quiet, I mean, there's so much that she missed out on, Yeah,
I totally get that being a mom myself. I love just holding my kids and having a good time with them. But I think that's all we have for today. So thanks so much for coming on, and we will talk to you again soon.